You were there, Nita. You were there in Ohio. You were boots on the ground. Yeah. You went for the show in identifying and doing an expose on that opioid crisis.
Stilettos on the ground.
Yeah, I took my stilettos off for that one. Like, it was serious business. And so I think you bring up a good point. It's a hard conversation, and to some people, it would seem like this program is taking innocence from children, but this program is not. Actually, I feel as though the opioid epidemic took their innocence. And sometimes when we are thinking about ways where we can combat this epidemic and we're thinking about the adults and what we can do to intervene, we unintentionally forget that there may be a little boy or a little girl standing in the corner crying because they found mommy or daddy lying on the ground, or they may be put in situations where they see pills or they see needles, and they have to know what to do in that particular situation. So it is very sad that some populations have to have this conversation. And I think when people are in environments where this conversation isn't needed for their kid, they can't really comprehend how a parent would feel when that conversation is needed. And so I want to thank you for developing this program. I'm very sad that your services are needed, but I think they definitely are. But you're on the front lines. I want to ask you, do you feel as though this problem is going to get worse before it gets better? Where do you see this going in the near future?
We actually have data in the Dayton area that our unintentional overdose deaths in adults are down to, I think in March we ended up at 15, which is amazing because a year before that in May we were at 81. And so we've done lots of work to get to that point, I think, in responding to the opioid crisis. The interesting thing is as the opioid unintentional overdose deaths go down, we're still seeing an increase in drug use. So the substance may have changed, but the behaviors have not. So I think even though we're an opioid curriculum, it's going to be interesting to see that the focus on making choices, I think, will be important because we'll always have to make healthy choices about drugs rather than just one particular drug. So I think it will get better. I think we've done a lot of work here in Ohio. I don't know as if it will be solved, but I think we're doing a lot of good work to get there, and I think there is hope that we can move forward. But we always have to be diligent about what's next.
And Kevin, I work as a full-time emergency physician, and I just want to commend you for what you're doing, because I agree that I don't want to have to teach kids that are 5 years old about drugs, but unfortunately I see it. They're affected. I see, 2 weeks ago, I had a mom that was high on opioids roll a car with 3 kids in it. So it's just, you see that stuff. The kids are affected. Kids are smart. They're seeing mom take pills, do stuff in the corner.
Well, that's what I wonder. I'm just curious how much of your curricula actually brings in the parent? Because I know for me, when I'm talking about like nutrition and even childhood obesity, my education is much more directed towards the parents than the kids. I mean, if these kids, you're teaching them about these things to take drugs from a safe person, but it's mommy that's shooting up or taking, like, how does that work into your program?
Well, a couple of things to address there. Number one, I think parent education is the key, and I think schools know that. The curriculum is designed for teachers, and so our main focus is on teachers, but at the same time, we're talking to schools about building supports, whether that's a parent education night, whether that's connecting with parents, whether that's doing some outreach before and after school with kids and providing supports there. So I agree with you, parent education is going to be key. I think the other piece with this, and it was the question before too, this trauma piece, that empowering teachers and schools to be able to respond, we know it's there, and we didn't really know what to do to empower our kids to be different or to stand out or to be ready to make healthy choices and try to overcome what might be going on in their families or in their community. So we think HOPE gives them some key concepts and principles that they can share both with their kids or with their students and then also with their parents outside about medication safety, about drug prevention, and about making healthy choices.
Well, Kevin, great work. We are so impressed with what you're doing. It is all about education. Yes, it's the parents. I think the kids need to be educated too on all the fronts, so keep up the great work. And for everybody watching out there, plenty of great resources to help you have these tough but very important conversations with your kids. And we'll have them on our website, thedoctorstv.com.